Okay, I think we should be live. Welcome to the second episode of UI Outliers interview. If you can see us and the handsome David, can you please type David into the chat? If you can see David, can you please type David? We have 6 people now watching. Let's wait for a while. Okay, we have reached 10 people. This is the UI bot. Sorry, I may not sound very clear, but I'm trying my best to speak like a human. I'm still learning. We will wait for another 2 minutes before we start. Please say hi to David in the chat. Hi, Devin. Anybody else wants to say hi?
Hi, Devin.
Oh, you bunch are a very shy bunch. It's okay. Robots are used to be cold, so I'm alright. I'm not sure about David.
I'm cool, don't
Hi,
worry.
May. Hi, James. Okay, we have 16 people now. Let's start. The night is not young. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another session of UI Outliers interview, featuring me, the UI bot, as the host. Allow me to share a little bit about ultimate investing. Ultimate investing combines fundamental and technical analysis together using our FATA options strategies to allow investors to gain an unfair advantage. Please give us a like, comment, or share this broadcast. Your help goes a long way. Today, we are happy to have David with us to share about his journey from an Ironman to an Iron Dad. Before we invite David online, we would like to announce that there will be a prize at the end of the session for the most engaging chatter during our live session. He or she will get a mystery prize from Ultimate Investing. The results will be announced on our UI Facebook page on Sunday. So, without much further ado, let us now welcome David online. Hi, David. How has your day been?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very privileged and happy to be part of this UI bot series. Yeah. So thanks for inviting me. Okay. And I hope people who listen to this podcast will find this useful. And if you have any interest in UI, please reach out to the founders. So hi UI bot. How has my day been? My day has been great. So I'm actually on leave from now to the end of the year because I just have too many days of leave left for this year. Yeah. So this evening I actually went to eat some Sichuan food with my wife at Chinatown. and it was really enjoyable because both my wife and I, we love Sichuan food. We like the kao yu, and the bao cai. Yeah, and that really makes us feel very satisfied afterwards. The amazing thing is that next day when we go to the toilet, it's just normal. Yeah. So anyway, too much details. Now, my kids are happy. They just finished school and are outside in the living room playing and eating ice cream. So in case anybody hears them, yeah, it's just because I'm now an iron dad. Investment and trading wise, the market has been green recently. So many good news like the vaccine has been announced and confirmation of US presidents. So there's a bit more certainty. So I think all these are all driving the market, and especially also there's there's talks of further stimulus. Yep.
Wow.
So overall, very positive. Yeah.
Wow, David, I'm jealous. As a robot, I never get to have leave. I work 24/7. And basically, when I get tired, I just plug myself in and charge. So there is no downtime for robots like me. I'm so envious. Okay,
Well,
David,
yeah.
would you like to share more about yourself and what is your relationship with iron?
Okay, firstly, I think you really give me too much credit. These days, I normally describe myself as a father whom iron clothes. So I'm an ironing man. Yeah, so not the Iron Man dad. Now, this is because I've not exercised much for a couple of years and I've gone out of shape already. But since you asked, I actually competed in 2 full Ironmans before, one in Spain, Mallorca, and another one in Australia, Barcelona. I also competed in a handful of 70.3, which is also known as the half Ironmans. So I did all this racing before I got married and had kids about 5 years ago. So after that, I decided to exercise leisurely, and leisurely slowly became occasionally, and occasionally became a rarity. In case people do not know what's Ironman, so Ironman sport comprises of 3 events. We swim, we cycle, and we run. In terms of distance, swimming is about 3.8 kilometers, which is equivalent to 80 laps in the pool. Bike is about 180 kilometers, and the run is 42 kilometers, a full marathon run at the end of it. So among the 3 of them, I actually enjoy cycling the most. And in fact, that's how I started in the sport. So, but now I usually will joke to my friends that my bike is a clothes hanger because I do not spend as much time on the saddle as I used to. And sometimes I just hang some clothes on it. But today, my eldest daughter is 4 and the youngest one is 2.5. So I think they are more stable and less needy. So recently I started to cycle again. Yeah. So I hope that gives a good background of iron.
Yeah. Oh no, I think I got it all wrong. I thought you are the Tony Stark Iron Man, not those who exercise. Never mind, since I have you here now. So, baby, I heard you work in a SaaS company. Can you share some insights into them?
Yes, I can. I work in one of the leading SaaS companies in the world today. So a little bit background about that, long story. I graduated as an accountant in 2008, 2009, during the height of the financial crisis. So back then I looked at how the financial markets and companies were becoming, and how they didn't comply with accounting standards and regulations. So there's a lot of, how do I say, gaming the system. So, I also thought that I didn't want to continue that journey in accounting because I just do not think I have the acumen. So, yeah. So actually I wanted to join the oil and gas industry because it's a very, very cushy job and everybody needs oil and everybody needs energy and everybody needs natural gas. So the company that I interviewed with, actually that I also interned with, they wanted to offer me a full-time job. But in the last minute, due to some screw up, I don't know what happened on their side, they withdrew their offer. So I looked around and my previous company, HP, called me and they offered me a job. Yeah, so one thing led to another, and today I'm working in actually one of the 3 biggest SaaS companies in the world. And a very heartening thing was that today the SaaS company that I'm looking for actually replaced the same oil and gas company that withdrew its offer in the S&P 30 indices. So I guess the bouncing around actually turned out to be a very fortunate incident for me. In terms of SaaS company, what I can say about them is that their business model is very good. It's a subscription-based model. So what that means is that once you are a customer, generally, you pay an annual subscription for a company in terms of revenue. There's recurring revenue, and what they need to do is they just continue to increase the share of wallet, as well as increase the number of new customers and reduce the attrition rate. And that's how SaaS companies actually, grow very fast. Yeah.
Oh, David, we know that our audience are a smart bunch. Do you want them to guess which company you are from? Hi,
Sure.
audience. Can you type into the chat which company do you think David comes from? David gives some hint. Can you give the hints again?
So I work in a SaaS company. It's now one of the 3 largest SaaS companies in the world, top 3. And recently it replaced an oil and gas company in the top 30 S&P indexes. Yeah.
Okay. So, intelligent audience, can you guess which SaaS company does David comes from? Well, I don't think he's gonna tell us, but me as a UI bot can give you certainty. But it's okay. Let's move on. So, David, now we are looking at your portfolio. Is this the recent few months? Can you talk a little bit about your portfolio?
Yeah. So this is my recent portfolio. I think this screenshot was taken about 2 or 3 weeks back. Yeah. So back then, I think the market was doing well. But before the market was doing well, I already entered some positions. And through these positions, I actually made quite a decent, healthy, and handsome profit. Yeah. So do you want me to probably talk about the highlighted ones? Yeah, I mean,
yes, because my owner actually highlight this because they say these are 4-digit gains. I don't know what's the value of money, but I guess the more the merrier. So please go ahead and talk about them.
Yeah. So before I talk about this, I guess the absolute digits is not the most important. My big CFO, my big teacher, yeah, actually said that the return percentage is the more important one. So I can tell you the returns are pretty decent. So I'll start with the first highlighted one, which is JWN. JWN is basically not Storm. It's a retail company. Yeah. So okay, maybe let me backtrack 2 steps, right? In UI, what we do is that we do 3 things. We do financial analysis, we do technical analysis, and we combine it with options. So with JWN, through our systematic way of evaluating stocks, first we look at the technical analysis of the stock, and based on certain criteria, we thought that the uptrend is actually very, very strong if it turns upwards. So once the market shows certain signs of doing that, we actually entered the market. And today the JWN actually the profit is up about 200%. It's up about 200%. So this is not accurate anymore. It's actually up furthermore. Yeah. So anybody who's thinking about it, I mean, now it's at a certain level. I mean, it's pretty hovering there. Yeah, it's a very good stock. And I thank UI for teaching us these methods to identify stocks with a big potential for this burst up.
Wow.
The second highlighted one Yeah. The second
Okay.
highlighted one is yeah.
Let's talk about the other one. SQ. I see this is a 5-digit game. Maybe we talk
Oh,
about this
yeah.
first.
Sure. SQ stands for Square. Square basically offers payment transactions for small merchants and small companies. It's one of the fintech companies doing very well. So with Square, what happened was that one of my C4 also, I think, can I name names? Yeah, one of
Go
my
ahead.
C4. I mean, I think Bowen also shared during one of his sharing sessions openly that, is it a buy or buy share for Square? Yeah. So Square has very strong fundamentals. We entered when the market shows signs that, there's potential entry point. So once I entered that stock, I just let it sail all the way up. And recently it's just climbing higher and higher. There's a lot of breakaway trades. Basically, it's just go climb higher. And when you think it doesn't go any higher anymore, it just breaks up again. So it's one of those companies where it's very well positioned to take in the benefits of both fintech as well as automation, as well as the new way of doing things, Internet of Things. So yeah,
Actually,
it's a very strong
some
company.
robot told me about Square. He says the founder actually invests in Bitcoin, and they are also trying to become a Bitcoin transaction center. So could that be a reason why the stock is keep going up?
Yes, that's also one of the reasons behind it. The price is closely, I don't say closely, but it's correlated to Bitcoin because the founder, as you rightly said, they are going to into the Bitcoin industry as well. Okay, what's that word? Cryptocurrency industry. Yeah, so they are also entering it. So with that kind of potential, it's just going to climb up. So one other thing I learned about Bitcoin and also cryptocurrency, right, and why is it climbing up? I mean, besides speculation, is that because the US currency, they can just print money. They don't have the gold standard anymore. So what it means is that the market needs to continue to print more and more and more money, right? So maybe this 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years is fine. But eventually it'll become unsustainable. So, we probably need to look for another alternative. And that's where the cryptocurrency actually is. I mean, that's something that I've learned from somebody. And I thought, I think, that really makes a lot of sense. And back to Square is that because the founder and owner wants to enter into Square, that's why the price, is correlated to the Bitcoin, and they just really climb up all the way. Yeah. So cryptocurrency is one of the leading, big fintech technologies in the industry.
Wow, that is so cool. I wish I had my own UI bot coin. Anybody wants to buy? Anyway, let's talk about another company. There is this company called Solar Edge or SEDG. So this company, you seem to have quite a lot of games also. You want to talk about
Yeah.
it?
Maybe I would say that I'll lump Solar Edge as well as Sunrun together because they are both in the solar industry. And okay, why I invested in Solar Edge and also Sunrun was because of the new alternative energy industry. My personal thoughts are that the oil and gas industry is really suffering. People are looking for alternative ways to power their daily lives. So solar, wind, etc., all the renewable energy is really the up and coming technologies. And especially with Biden, he actually wants to introduce a more friendlier and clean energy initiative. And so with this, it's more of a view towards the long term, where with this, solar energy is just it's a long-term investment for me, where I just buy and hold. And thankfully for me, these stocks have just been literally running like the sun run, and also solar age is also just climbing up. I mean, it climbs up in the channel, right? But it's still climbing up. So and it just benefited from all this.
Wow. Solar power is the way to go. Next time I'll just lie in the sun and get charged. I do not need to plug myself into a plug anymore. That sounds so cool.
Actually, no, it's so mafan, no, it's so troublesome. You just get the battery from either NIO or get a battery from Tesla. It can probably last a long time. Yeah.
Well, I do not know Elon Musk well, but let me try to make friends with him. Okay, last two companies. There is this company called Peloton and Snow. Funny names. Can you tell me what they are?
So Peloton and Snow, they are new companies in the industry. I'm not going to pretend I'm the expert. In fact, I think my wife can talk better about these two companies. I read about them. Okay, so a bit of background about these two companies. For me, these two companies are recently entered into the stock exchange. I think they haven't touched 200 days yet. But they have both very strong financial backing. Peloton is actually led by the former CEO of ServiceNow, who has a very strong track record of driving companies and drive up the stock shareholders' value, increase the revenue, grow the company. So and their strategy is something that I really like. And on top of that, what recently I think that has caused a huge surge in price was because what's that guy's name? I can't remember all of a sudden. The guy who shorted the Thailand market.
Jim Rogers?
Yeah. Not Jim Rogers. The other guy. He announced that 5% of his portfolio actually went to Peloton. George Soros. I think George Soros. Yes, George Soros just announced that I think 5% of his portfolio went into Peloton. So with that, I think people started to have a lot of faith, and faith became speculation, and it just went up. But the company is very strong. Bowen also did a sharing on this company, or was it on Snow? I can't remember. So I thought it was a very strong company. Snowflake is founded by ex-Oracle people who were pretty senior. I think just a few senior guys who probably realize that there's a lot of potential in what they do, data warehousing. So they came out and started this company called Snowflake. Initially, they were not dupe the up and coming very hot guys because a few middle-aged men trying got a lot of their big corporate jobs come out and do this company. But as they progress, people realize that their business model is actually very good. They sell a lot of government contracts, and Warren Buffett is actually one of the backers, or rather Berkshire Hathaway was one of the backers of this company. So and I really like this company. So these two companies are what I thought as a buy and hold. Maybe 10 years from now, I hope to give my daughter some of these shares and make them wealthy as well. So yeah.
I see. I didn't know Warren Buffett likes snow. I thought
maybe it's Lieutenant. I don't think maybe it's him. Yeah, Snowflake.
Yeah, but he used to say that you can snowball your wealth. So the snowball, as it rolls down the hill, just becomes bigger and bigger. So that is probably where you are heading. Snowballing your portfolio.
You know what's this? This is a book, Warren Buffett, the Snowball.
Oh, yeah. You have it.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually keep it next to me because Warren Buffett is one of the people that I really admire, and I download all his shareholders letters and I try to read all of them. Yeah, he's a very smart guy. But anyway, the people in UI are very smart as well, very, very resourceful. So yeah.
Fun facts. Warren Buffett can drink 7 cups or cans of Coca-Cola, and he is almost 90 years old. So
Wow.
Coke is good for the body? I'm not sure.
You want to live longer, drink more Coke. I have a friend who called Paul Chen. He went to see Warren Buffett before, so maybe you can ask him.
Yeah, I don't know him. Who's that guy? So there are some questions here. How did you get this ROI? Did you just buy stocks? This is asked by Li Wei.
Yeah. So for the stocks here, I mean for the items here, most of them, I would say 80% of them are options. 20% of them are shares. Yeah. So the options actually is a multiplier of returns. So when the stock market moves maybe about 10%, what it means as a return for options is that it can be 70 or 80%. But also means that if the market moves against you, let's say move down 10%, what you potentially will lose is 70 or 80% of that amount that you put in. So you really have to use you have to be you have to follow the strategies that UI has taught us in order to increase the chances of winning. Yeah, I hope I answered the question.
So you use 80% options and 20% is
actually
stocks.
no, 90% options, 10% shares. Yeah.
Okay.
I also sell options as well.
Oh wow, you seem to like options a lot.
I have a good shifu. I have a good teacher who's the master of that. Yeah.
Another question. Devin is asking, what is your view in the clean energy market? And also, would you like to comment about electric vehicles?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting topic. I think today there's going to be a big market shakeup because Tesla is going to enter the widely tracked stock index. So, people are going to see, what's going to happen. It's going to cause a lot of volatility. And volatility doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. So anyway, so back to my point is that for electric vehicle markets and clean energy, I think they are correlated or closely related industries. Firstly, for electric vehicles, they do not use natural gas or fuels anymore, right? So they are using renewable or rechargeable batteries, hopefully from a renewable source. So what that means is that the emissions, the CO2 emissions, carbon emissions is much lower, and it's a lot cleaner. Yeah. Whereas for the clean energy stocks, it's basically just creation of energy through renewable sources like wind and sun. Yeah. So how do I see both of them? Actually, I'm invested in both sides, honestly, because personally, okay, from a personal level, I believe that oil and gas is not sustainable, even though I've tried to invest in that area. I mean, not invest, sorry, let me correct myself. Fresh out of school, I tried to went into an oil and gas company. Yeah, so because it was a very cushy job. But now, I mean, when I look at it, if I think, how do I want the world to be when my daughters grow up? Actually, I hope that clean energy will be able to be the future of our lives. Yeah. And about the clean, I mean, so if I talk about these two, right? I mean, electric vehicles, you have Tesla, you have NIO, you have XPeng, you have Li. So you have a mixture of the US companies, the Chinese companies. Then you also have the Japanese companies like the Nissans, the Volkswagens from the Germanys. They're all coming with electric vehicles. So I picked a few, not a few, maybe about 3, and then I'm invested in 3 of them. Whereas for the renewable energy milestone, like you say, both Sunrun and CTG, Solar Edge. So I'm not sure. That was a very long-winded story. Answer. I hope I answered the question. I hope it makes sense.
It's
If I
okay.
don't, it's because of my fault. Yeah.
I didn't fall asleep, so you are all right. Okay, we saw your slides and there are some nice pictures. So you got two lovely daughters. So are
Yes, I
there
do.
some stocks that you will buy and actually pass it to them?
Yeah, like I said, I've already bought Palantir, I bought Snowflake. Also inside Alibaba, I also have Nordstorm. So I do have some stocks here and there. And within UI, we have this theory of free, I think it's FFF, I can't remember, but basically it's unlimited or infinite returns. So a very brief explanation of that theory is that suppose I put in $10,000 and that $10,000 after a period of time, it grows to $20,000. So what happens is that I take out the first $10,000 and reinvest that $10,000 elsewhere. So this remaining $10,000 for me, what it means is that I got it through my profits. And when I let it run, it just runs. Sometimes it's giving dividends, it comes with dividends. Yeah, so that's my daughter, by the way. You hear her. Come and say hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear. Okay, so beside your daughters, I see in the picture you pose half naked with three other guys. Would you leave any stocks to them?
No, but I'll be very happy to buy them lunch and dinner. So there are three of my best friends. So I'm the person on the left side. Yeah, and the second person to the left is actually called Yang. He's my best friend. I knew him since JC. In fact, he introduced me to my wife. Yeah, so I gotta be thankful for him. So he's actually my matchmaker lah. And next to him, Ming Yang. Also we cycle a lot together. And Zhao Hui. Zhao Hui, I knew him since primary school lah. So and now we know each other when we are fathers already. So very interesting. Yeah,
Wow.
but I won't leave any stocks for them. I'm sorry.
Just a question. How long ago was this picture taken?
That's a great question. I think this was taken maybe 10 years ago, 2010 or 2011. We just finished a triathlon. That's why you see the numbers on our arms. Basically, the numbers on our arms are meant for our identification when we swim, and the numbers on the legs are meant for identification when we run and when we cycle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The last picture, you and your lovely wife. I believe it is in front of a rock wall. So
Yes.
you like rock climbing?
Yeah. So it's funny, right? Because I love to cycle, but because cycling takes out a lot of time, I also have to wake up very early. So sometimes I'm not able to wake up early, right? And then we found a new sport. Me and my wife, we love to do exercises together, do a lot of sports together. So we found rock climbing. So this is actually a rock wall in front of the Safra Yishun. We rock climbed there, and this was one of the pictures that we took. I think we took this picture during the solar eclipse earlier this year. I think it happened earlier this year, so it was amazing. Yeah. So besides rock climbing, we do a lot of bouldering. 2 years ago, we went to Krabi to do rock climbing as well. So one day we hope to go to Yosemite lah.
I see. Okay, so let's come back to your portfolio. I believe many in the audience thinks that these are awesome results. Can you share some tips with our audience? How did you achieve this?
Okay, give me 1 second because my daughter is telling me she called a coach. So I'm going to tell her, okay, quickly take message. Ning Ning, Papa is on the telephone, okay? Can I talk to you later? I know you did.
What the Iron Dad has to do every day. So this
I'm
is
sorry.
real life. No problems. Let me entertain the audience.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, so can I share? Okay, well, sorry, can you repeat your question again? You're saying that what is the secret to my returns? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Can you share some tips with our audience? How did you achieve these awesome results?
I think maybe I'll flip it around and tell you a day in the life when I come to investing. So every day I spend personally about an hour. Yeah.
It's mommy.
Yes,
It's
it's mommy.
daddy.
Okay, sit down here.
Papa.
Okay, sit down here.
Chan.
So every day I spend about an hour looking at my watch list. So within my watch list, I have about 200 stocks. And how all these stocks came about is through all the sharings that my fellow friends and buddies within the Ultimate Investing has shared. Some of them I got them through reading of articles. Some of them my friends would share with me. So I have this list of about 200 plus watch list and I'll just spend, I won't say an hour, maybe for 30 minutes to 45 minutes really going through. And within the list, I'll start to make notes. What kind of notes? I will see, the trends and what I really like about them. Then also, we also have a list of FA. So FA basically is, we have a list of, I think, 10 parameters to check, 5 for modes and 5 for their financial health, and also whether they are undervalued or overvalued. So based on all these criteria, I'll start to shortlist certain stocks that have potential for entry in the next 1 week or next few days or next 1 month. So that's what I normally would do on a daily basis. I mean, after a while it starts to get a bit boring but investing is supposed to be boring and not supposed to be exciting. When you go for excitement, I think you go to a casino better. Investing actually quite boring, right? Even Warren Buffett says that. So then just go through the list and every day I will look through it. And when I see a potential entry, sometimes I'll cross-reference with my basically my seniors and even my teacher, and also tell them this is my thoughts. What do they think? Then sometimes they'll give me their opinions as well. And that's when I make certain decisions on whether I should enter the stock. Then when I enter, most of my entries are based on options. Yeah, because options really give me a higher return, but also means the cutting loss have been very ruthless. If what I see is wrong, or certain scenarios happen, then I have to cut loss and leave the trade. So I'm not sure whether I answered the question.
Yeah. So it seems that you have a very vibrant and helpful community. Like you mentioned, your seniors that you can talk to and also rely on each other to get better trades. So do you enjoy this type of community bonding?
Absolutely, I think it's very important. I think one of the key success factors is being part of this community. Because I think within the community, a lot of them, come from various backgrounds. Some of them are from medical. We have doctors, we have people from oil and gas. Myself, I'm from SaaS. People who were professional traders before. So everybody brings their own circle of competence into the whole equation and the whole mix and family, right? And we're all very willing to share, and share ideas, share opinions, if we pay attention to what has been shared, we do our own homework, and if we make the right trades, you will really make money. You will really make money. So the road to financial freedom, I think, is one of the key success factor is good friends. And not just for investing, I think for a lot of things, right? Whether you're on the path to do your sports, path to do your religious studies or whatever, having a good company of friends is very important.
Okay. I've got another question. This question is tasked by the co-founders to ask you. So they say that ultimate investing, they teach fundamental, technical, and options. What is your preference and how do you use these teachings to your advantage?
Yeah. So sorry if I'm too long-winded, UiBot, please tell me. So the interesting thing was that during our recent UI meet, we have insider meet. Bowen, who's one of our teachers or coaches, he actually used gaming characters to describe the 6 coaches we have in UI. There's agility hero, the mage hero, the strength hero. Basically, what it means is that even though the skill taught or the skill that's been taught is the same, the recipient, based on the personality, based on their characteristic, based on their likes and dislikes, the style is very different. The style is very different. So my personality is that I'm more chiong, I'm more gutsy. So in the beginning, I entered a lot of traits that I shouldn't because I dare lah, and I just entered, right? So what happened was that as time passes by and with a lot of nudging and coaching and obviously a lot of whipping by the market, I learned to make use of my strengths and try to cover for the weakness lah. So my preference is actually momentum trading, a mixture of TA and options. And the reason is because I make the time to observe the market daily. Also, my appetite for returns and loss is higher. So options, like I said, allow us to multiply market movement by 5 to 8 times. So 10% movement in the market is about 50 to 80% times movement in your profit or your loss, right? Yeah. So I love FA. I started as an accountant, as I mentioned. One of our co-founders and very close friend of mine is called Paul. He's an FA expert. But yes, FA I've done a few, but my favorite is S3. We call it S3, the strategy tree. Yeah, so strategy tree is actually a secret source of UI, very powerful. Not Storm actually came from that. JWN came from there. So if we follow the trend, we can actually make very big money. So the big movement are the ones that make big money. So it depends on the situation. Whatever makes money.
I see. Don't worry about Paul. As long as you can make money, I don't think he minds. Anyway, so after extending the bootcamp, you continue to practice and make money using the strategy. If I need you to give one advice for people who are just starting out to invest, what will be that advice? Just one.
Just one. I think probably 2.
Okay.
Learn from people. Learn from people that have a very strong track record, and not just the person say is strong. Learn from people who has learned from him. See whether they are really doing what he's saying, and is he able to multiply that kind of success, replicate the kind of success in his students. Is it scalable? I think that's very important. Second is also, if you want to go out for investing, use money that you can spare. Yeah, don't use your kids' food money to go and do investing. I think that's a bit silly. Or don't go and borrow money to do that. Yeah, use money that you can spare.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So let's see if there are any more questions from the audience. Okay. Devin asks, where do you get information on the stocks you look for? YouTube or Google?
A few ways. I think firstly, there's this very famous, or a couple of very famous blogs like Motley Fool, Seeking Alpha. Sometimes they give very good stock ideas, but a lot of them are basically, I won't say use the word junk, but some of it I don't follow. Yeah, so that's one area. Another area is FinVis. FinVis basically for me, what it does is that it offers a heat map of the biggest movements of the day. I can also start to do certain filtering based on criteria. So FinVis is a good area. Then during the earning seasons, Earning Whisper is also a very good area for us to look for companies that are due for earnings. But be careful because earning period, unless you know a company very well, try not to speculate because it becomes gambling really. So, but that's a good area to look at as well. Then besides that, there's also this other website called Guru Focus. Guru Focus basically is a site where all the gurus out there, like the George Soros and Warren Buffett, when they make any buys, they have to declare, and they'll all be reported on the Guru Focus. So you can take a look there.
Wow, you actually give 5 different websites for the audience. They
Did I
are
give too many?
having
Sorry.
a good treat. It's all right. Looks like there are no more questions from the audience. So let me ask one question. David, what was your Ironman timing?
Okay lah, not so good lah. It's about 15 minutes, 15 hours. 15 hours. So I barely make the cutoff. Yeah.
Okay, but you managed to complete it. So that's something. Well, I don't think I will even go to run 1 kilometer. I'm just too lazy. Before
You should meet my friend Paul Chen. Yeah, he's an amazing athlete and he's still going strong. Yeah. So
really, not interested. Before we end today's chapter, I would like to share with you about our YouTube channel, Ultimate Investing. You can actually look at the yellow banner and follow us using Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, or YouTube. You see, we are all over social media with more than 50 videos and counting in our YouTube channel. After this broadcast, this video will also be stored on our YouTube channel. So please remember to share and comment and like so that more friends can enjoy this video. Okay, lastly, remember we have one winner for the most responsive chatter. The contest will close this Sunday, so please comment as much as you can and share our post with your friends and family. Once again, I would like to say a big thank you to David for your time in sharing with us about your investing journey. Before we go off, can we just take a picture together? 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay.
thank you. Thank
So
you.
this ends episode 2 of our Outliers interview. If you like this, please like our video so we will continue doing more of this, looking for more outliers for you to learn from them. Till then, thank you everybody. Take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.